Rabina, tell me about you, and a similar question. I know that there's probably too much emphasis actually on the headscarf, but I do think it makes life harder for Muslim women at moments like this, or around heightened tensions that we have now. What do you say to that?
Well, I think initially on Friday, it was my eldest daughter. She's 23. She was about to go to work, and I'd read about the attacks, and I was starting to read a lot more, getting the information. And what she suddenly called out from her room and said, "Mum, can you just come to my room?" So I went to her room, and she kept saying, she was really shaking, and she said, "Have you seen this? Have you seen this?" And it was that video. And when she had seen that video, she actually thought it was a video game. She couldn't comprehend that it was the reality of someone who'd walked into a mosque and began shooting. And afterwards she explained to me, when she heard the music, when she heard him coming out of the car watching him, she felt as though she was watching a game, one of those, computer games. And it was the fact that she kept thinking, is this for real? Is this really happening? And then when she saw halfway through, she closed the Facebook page down, the video that was circulating on WhatsApp, and I took the phone away from her because I could see that she was shaking, and she couldn't believe that this happened on a Friday, just as Nadia said. And at that point, she said to me, "When you go out," because I wear the scarf and my older one doesn't, she said, "Are you going to be okay wearing the scarf going out?" And I said, "We're fine. We have to be strong." Just because someone has decided to walk into a mosque and decided to begin to kill people, does that mean that you take your headscarf on? No, it doesn't. What it shows is that we're very strong together. We have to look to our faith for peace and solidarity. And when we look around, when we see people who are extending the hands of friendship, and we can only look at people all over the world. We need to look at the Prime Minister of New Zealand. She's actually given us hope to many Muslim women all over the world. And for me, when someone says about the headscarf, do you feel as though you're going to become vulnerable? Actually, yes, there is the vulnerability, but there is hope with it.
Do you agree with her decision just never to mention the man's name?
Absolutely, absolutely. The point is, why should we give this terrorist attacker, this murderer, that platform and mention his name when we should actually be speaking about the victims? And on that note, victims of all terror attacks, the one that happened in Pittsburgh in the synagogue, the one in Manchester Arena, we should be talking about the victims and their families and showing solace and solidarity with them.
Rabina, would you actually ask people, we can all do this, we can all play a part in this, when we're walking down the streets of Britain over the next couple of days, look at people and smile at them, make that bit of extra contact, because it doesn't do any harm.
Absolutely, absolutely. And on that note, on Sunday, my mum rang me and they sent me a photo which I actually tweeted, and it was a photo of a bouquet of flowers that had been left in Chatham Mosque. And in 1975, I came to this country, and there were no mosques in Chatham, in Kent. My dad actually founded that particular mosque, and the bouquet of flowers that had been left there, it was so heartwarming because what the couple had left was that we stand with you. We are saddened by your loss. And that act of gesture, that act of kindness, the acts of smiles, that sends a huge message to people, to particularly Muslim women who feel very vulnerable. And I also think because the older Muslim women, we don't often talk about them as well, they're very vulnerable. Their first language is often not English. And I take my mother's example. That sent her a message that I am not alone. There are people here who are standing with me. And in her conversation, when she talked about New Zealand, she talked about the first time when she came to the UK to live here, to integrate, to learn English, and the Islamophobia and the racism she endured at the time. And she spoke about that, and she said, to now we have to look to hope and faith and to be able to come together, and it's that sense of togetherness which must instill today.
Thank you all very much, Rabina and Akila and Nadia. Really good to spend time with you this morning, and thank you very much.